Hello. Good morning. Hello. What's up? Sorry, I didn't stretch this morning and my back is super tight. Because my mattress is killing me slowly. Okay! This expensive mattress that I'm still paying off. But not after September. That'll be nice. Okay. Good morning. Dude, I played D&D last night and it was amazing. All the D&D. Oh yeah. It was great. Um, I took a shit ton of damage from a trap, from a puzzle actually, and then it was okay. So in the Tomb of Annihilation, spoilers abound. If you don't want to know about the Tomb of Annihilation, just skip forward until you see me start playing the game. So anyway, in the Tomb of Annihilation, there are 9 sarcophagi. Each sarcophagi, actually, there are more than that, but whatever. Each sarcophagi corresponds to a different god, a different trickster god of the city of Omu, and each sarcophagi contains the essence of that god, but also a cool thing, right? And we've been going around this place trying to find all the sarcophagi. Oh my god. What is your issue, man? There's only 2 things open. Hold on 1 second. Let's turn you off. Exit. Let's turn you off. Come on. Quit. Java, I don't need you to be here. Go away. Need that. Need that. Need that. Actions recommended. Hold on 1 second. My computer is skipping frames. You're only using 24% of the CPU. What do you want? Account protection? No, I'm good, thanks. Okay. Sure. What the fuck? We'll turn off Dropbox for a moment. I mean, I don't know what is its problem. Anyway, so oh shit, there's a shirt in the way. I found a shirt and I was like, this ain't mine, and I hooked it on the end of my TV, which was a mistake. Hold on 1 sec. Okay, there we go. Let's turn off sync. Yeah, I know it's up to date. Okay, let's see here. Settings. Exit Dropbox. There we go. Okay, so that's gone and everything. Fine. Okay, so. Yes, in the Tomb of Annihilation, there are 9 sarcophagi that we are trying to get and open for the cool stuff that's in it. So Gustav's character, we were all turned into our characters at one point were all turned into Yuan-ti purebloods, which is a ritual that is physically and mentally taxing, and we all came out of it with madnesses. My character with the madness is dead, and Arrakis is back, so Arrakis has no madnesses. She's slightly scarred from being tortured, but you know. And Gustav's, or not Gustav, his character's name is Demiurge. Demiurge, who's a blue tiefling person that we found already as a slave under the Yuan-ti's whip. His madness is, if I find it, it's mine. Which is just the most annoying madness. I think it annoys no one more than it annoys him, because he had imagined his character as a generous person. But so far, most of the magical items are in his possession. uh he has a he has like bracers of defense, and he has the flame tongue sword, and he has a staff that turns into a snake that he found in one of the sarcophagi, and he has another staff that actually does a shit ton of damage that our monk could use. But the thing about it is, the only two people in the party who don't have magical weapons are Arrakis, who has only the shit that she found while she was escaping the people who tortured her, and our NPC artist. Actually, he has a magical weapon, but it's a dagger. It kind of requires you to get up close. It doesn't do a whole lot of damage. It does cool things, but, those things are limited. So, it's me and Artist. Me and Artist are the only ones in the party who don't have a magical weapon. And, like, there are things in this tomb that physical damage does nothing to. They suffer no damage if you are not doing some kind of magical damage to them. And so the fact that he has now two weapons, two weapons that do lots of magical damage, but is unable to be like, oh, here, you need this more than I do, because he's a warlock. A pact of the blade, which means that he can summon a weapon whenever the fuck he feels like, and it does magical damage. He's annoyed by it. I'm annoyed by it. We're all annoyed by it. But he has to play his character because we're that people. We're those people. Oh, this is my character's madness. This is probably going to lead to my death, but I have to play it like this. So we did actually get to touch on it because here's the situation. We're on the second level. One of the clues is descend into darkness. So we go into this room, and there's a relief of the screaming goat face on the floor. We can hear wails of despair coming from down in, but we look in and we don't see anything. But Demiurge actually has the ability to see through magical darkness as one of his invocations, I think, or, because of something. So he says, oh, this is what I see, and it's just a room down below, and it's lit by torches and everything. So, Toby's character, possessed by Wongo, goes down first, and I go down next. And we're in a room, and there are hieroglyphs on the floor. And I was like, oh, it's a puzzle room. I'm the wrong person to be down here. But also, this is the room with the tomb of the rabbit god. Not actually a rabbit. There's an actual name for the species that it is, but I don't remember it right at this moment. And Dash, who is fast. It's possible. Probably it's my internet. Probably it's my internet. I mean, it's Wi-Fi, and I don't know what Matt's doing, but he was playing Dark Souls, and I'm pretty sure that requires an internet connection. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All of the skipped frames. Lower your encoder settings. I don't know how to do that. Ensure that you don't have any other... Fuck you. You're the only one that's using most of my CPU. Enable performance mode. Enable performance mode. Editor. What is the context menu? Settings? Ooh. Anyway, doesn't matter. So, Dash is really fast. And my character associates rabbits with quickness. And so she's just like, hey, Dash. We found the rabbit sarcophagus. Get down here. So Dash comes down, and we're looking at this puzzle, and we're trying to figure it out and everything like that. Like you do. And so Dash steps off onto a square and is immediately attacked by a column of locusts and doesn't get any kind of a dexterity save and everything. And then she takes like 48 damage. And I was like, holy shit. Okay. Well, I mean, listen. And it's funny because like Toby's character was like, well, and he climbed back up the rope, which was hilarious. Anyway. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm the barbarian. Here, just like slap me or something so I can get mad. And Dash was like, okay, and scratched the fuck out of my arm, and I was like, ah! And I raged. And, uh, and then I stepped onto a tile and almost took like 68 damage. Holy shit. It was intense. So, we decided, well, we'll just take the sarcophagus and we'll open it somewhere else. Because we tried to open it, it wouldn't open. And we're like, all right, well. And so I tied a rope around it, and we hauled it up, and we talked about it for a little while and everything, and then we went back down and we moved the boat because it was on a dais. On the dais is a boat. On the boat is the sarcophagus, and the sarcophagus only weighs 75 pounds, which Arrakis, who is 8 foot and 385 pounds with a 16 or 310 pounds currently because she's slightly emaciated from torture. Uh, Arrakis, who is 8 foot tall and 310 pounds with a strength of 16, can easily lift 75 pounds for an extended period of time. So, that's like, that was like her backpack before. That she carried the boat. Well, she carried half the boat. And, so anyway, um, maybe if I change back to regular OBS, because I'm trying to give Streamlabs a chance, because their features are so fucking cool. But every time I try to use Streamlabs, it's just like, hey, you're skipping a bunch of frames. Maybe you should use something that uses less of your CPU. And I'm like, I'm looking over here. You have a CPU tracker. You are using 27% of it. Um, but anyway, uh, the boat is easily movable as well. So we just there's a hallway leading out. So we put the boat on the floor and use that as like a bridge to go out into the hallway, right? And so then Rick's character mentioned, "Oh, you must be on the third floor. Maybe there's another plaque." So we went and we found the plaque. Only I had to take Dash with me because Arrakis can't read. Arrakis can't read, y'all. Can't count either. And it was funny. That was the funniest shit because like there was a discussion about what floor they were on, and and Dash was just like, no, you just gotta count the levels. When you're at the top, you're basically in the lobby, and then it's like floor one, floor two, and I'm looking at her, and I'm just like, I I can't count. So I love Arrakis. She's delightful. Anyway, so we have the sarcophagus. We found the plaque, and then we got attacked by a tomb guardian who doesn't they don't take damage from non-magical weapons. They don't take damage from non-magical weapons. I could get a natural 20 and my shit wouldn't do anything. And it's balls. Okay, it's balls. But anyway, Dash, we both failed our perception checks to notice it coming upon us. Dash was basically reading the plaque out loud, and I was committing it to memory, and I was so focused on that we didn't see the Tomb Guardian. And then it dropped Dash in the first attack because Dash had previously taken like 48 points of damage, and she only had like 52 hit points or something. So, I mean, I have Cure Wounds, so I Cure Wounds her, but I mean, she took 10. She got 10 back. It's not great. So I used my last spell to healing words her so she could get 6 hit points, and then I hit the guy to distract it. And we all got back into the area. Everybody else came down the rope and was just like, "Are we ready to fight?" And then like me and Artis were the only ones not fighting in that fight because we could do nothing to this thing. And then we all went back up the rope, and I tied the rope. I was like, "No, we've gone to all of this trouble. We're gonna take it out of this room. We're gonna take it around. We're gonna find some way to open it." So uh we're like, well, let's just smash it. And then Toby's just like, all right, I got a mace, and he goes to lift it, but then he looks at it and he's just like, are we sure we want to break this? And I'm like, what? Yes, there's stuff inside. Dash needs stuff. Dash suffered a lot of damage for this stuff, you know. And he's just like, yeah, but I mean, this sarcophagus though, it's probably worth a lot of money. It's actually like worth like 7,500 GP or whatever. And Arrakis is like, where the fuck are we gonna sell it? You think Acererak, or whoever owns this place, because Arrakis doesn't know this name in character, do you think he has a shopping mall, a pawn shop? I would like to turn in this solid gold magical sarcophagus for 750 or 7,500 gold. No. And he's just like, I mean, but it's really pretty. And Arrakis is like, okay, fine. And so she tries to wedge her axe into like a seam and use it to like lever the edge open. I got a natural 20. Or no, I didn't get a natural 20, but I got like a 19. I got as high as I could get without getting a natural 20, and nothing happened. And my athletics is like +6, so it's not coming open. And I'm like, all right, fuck it. And I start whacking at it, and nothing is chipping this thing. And I'm like, well, pff. So I pick it up, and now we're carrying it around. And we're like, okay, well, we're pretty beat up. Do we want to like take a nap? And everybody's like, yes, we want to take a nap. I need to recover spells and my hit points. Dash needs to recover her hit points, and all this. So we go back to the room, with the spinning fan where Cicada originally died, and only we get back there and the fan is working again. And we're all like, ah, god damn it. But then I'm like, oh, I have an idea. And so I start walking forward, and everyone's like, no, because Arrakis wasn't there when the fan was operational. And she's like, what? And they're like, no, that fan spins super fast, and you might get launched off the edge. And she's like, and I'm just like, yeah, but if I go up there, maybe it'll cut the end off the sarcophagus, and we can just reach in and grab whatever's in there. And they're all like, I mean, and it takes 6 seconds for the fan to get to full speed. So we're just like, okay. So I run up there, and I'm like, okay. And I jam it basically against the slowly spilled beating fan, and it basically pushes the sarcophagus out of the way because it's not spinning fully yet, right? And I'm like, okay, well, fuck. And I go back, and I'm like, okay, now did it chip it at all or scratch it? And Tyler's like, nope. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe we have to do it from the other side, when uh you know when it's full speed, you just chip it in there, and make sure that was not understanding how the hallway was situated. I thought it was hallway, fan, room. But actually it's hallway, fan, more hallway, room, right? So basically in the room is the room is like this and everything, and there's like 15 feet and then a pit where the first sarcophagus was, and then behind the pit is this raised dais with the three chests, and the three chests are immovable. So Dash ties her rope around one of the chests, then ties it to herself, and basically measures the distance so that she would never actually reach the fan. Like, even if she was like fully pressed, at the end of the rope, she would not touch the fan, right? So then takes the sarcophagus, and it's just like, okay, here we go, and like shoves the end of it in there, and Tyler takes a minute, assigns 3 possibilities to a percentile dice roll, and then rolls the dice. So here's what happens: the fan knocks the sarcophagus violently out of Dash's hands and sends it careening down the hallway towards the rest of us. And Tyler's like, you all need to make dexterity or acrobatics checks to get the fuck out of the way. And I was like, but can I catch it though? And Tyler's like, yes, but you'll need to make an acrobatics to avoid being hit by it, and then an athletics to actually catch it. So I rolled a 21 to dodge and a 19 to catch it. So, but Artis and Dragonbait both failed their acrobatics checks. So it hit Dragonbait, bounced, hit Artis, bounced further, and I went and caught the 75-pound solid gold brick. Well, hollow gold brick. The contents are dust. Like, there's no way those contents are intact except for the magical item within, right? And And Dash is like, okay, well, I'm gonna I'm gonna turn around and go back now. I'm gonna pull myself off the thing, and he's just like, okay, roll a percentile. And Matt's like, oh no. So Matt rolls percentile, and he got like a 31, and Tyler's like, okay. So you turn around, but as you turn around, you've forgotten something. And as soon as he said that, I went, oh god, your tail. And yeah, so Dash turns around, and her tail, because of the suction, flies out behind her, and the adamantine, spinning fan of death goes whoosh, and the tail goes whoosh, towards the rest of us, and Demiurge catches it. Demiurge, the guy who is cursed with greediness. So he catches it, and then he stuffs it in his pocket. And Tyler's like, and you take 6 points of damage, and Dash, who had taken, who had like, oh no, she took 8 points of damage, and she only had 6 hit points left, so she's at 0. And he's like, oh no, now you're a ragdoll. So basically, what happened was, her tail got cut off, and like our Artis, we're all watching this, very closely, and Artis is, reeling a little bit from being hit in the head with a giant metal box, but he sees the tail get cut off, and Dash kind of, well, he says falls forward, but honestly, she would have just, weh. But she falls forward and then starts sliding back towards the fan, and Artis uses his magical ring underneath his glove to make an ice wall behind the fan, which is now blowing cold air at the rest of us, which is nice because we're in a tomb and there's not a whole lot of air circulation. But then Demiurge dispels the fan because he has dispel magic, and then Artis drops the ice wall, and we all go and we drag Dash into the room, and do a medicine check, and we stabilize her, and then we take a long rest, and then I make sure that Arrakis wakes her up and is just like, now don't panic. I want you to know that it's all my fault. It was a bad idea, and I should never have suggested it. It's on me, and I don't want you to panic. You're perfectly fine. But you are missing a little bit of tail. And Dash is like, I beg your pardon. And gets up and is just like, oh my god. Because, like, her tail is now, like, that long. Her tail is, like, 2.5 feet long, where it was, like, 4 feet. Because she's tall. And she's like, where's my tail? And Demiurge, who is possessed by a god that embodies honesty, can't lie, and so Demiurge is like, I have it, and Dash is like, no, give me back my tail, and so Demiurge is like, no, it's fine, I have it, on ice, and Dash is like, what the fuck do you mean you have it on ice? Give me my tail, it's my tail, and everyone else is like, yeah, dude. Yeah, it's her tail, like, and we're all like, why would you want it, like, we're freaking out, and he's just like, no, it's fine, I'm keeping it, preserved and everything, and we're all like, how? And he's like, chill touch, and I'm like, everyone else who knows about magic, Arrakis doesn't know a lot about magic, she can do some magic now, but she doesn't really know a whole lot about it. Everyone else is like, chill touch does necrotic damage. You're not keeping it preserved, you're actually degrading it. And Dash is like, give me my fucking tail before I hurt you. And so he had to roll against his madness, and he failed the first time. And so he basically was like, no, it's fine, I have it, it's fine, like manic kind of. And everyone's just like, dude, what the fuck? So he successfully rolled against his madness the second time, and was like, okay, fine, here. And she's like, so we go along, we find the next room, which involves zombies and also skeletons, and there's a statue that shoots bolts of force and everything. And we dispatch all the skeletons, and Dash is like, Arrakis, come here! And because we had discussed after that, because there was no marks There were no marks on the sarcophagus after it was jammed into a spinny fan of adamantine blades. And I was like, well, Jesus Christ, what is it, fucking magic? And Tyler's like, yeah. And I was like, oh my God, can I use this as a bludgeoning weapon? And Tyler's just like, I mean, maybe, but you're not proficient in it. And I'm like, I don't care. So anyway, I mean, I used my axe against the skeletons because skeletons aren't shit. And then we we killed all the skeletons, and Dash had managed to locate the source of the bolts of force, which was this iron, bronze or brass shield, right? And so he's just like, Arrakis, come here, and I'm like, what? Where is it? Where is it? What can I smash? And he's just like, and Dash is like, here, smash that shield, and I'm like, okay. So I take my axe and I hit it, but it does nothing, and I'm like, oh, there's nothing fucking, listen, and Dash is like, use the sarcophagus, and I'm like, yeah, but it might break it. and Dash goes, yeah? Because that was what we've been trying to do this entire time, and I'm like, oh! So I take the sarcophagus, and I just overhand smash it into the shield, which is only 5 feet off the ground, and I'm 8 feet tall, so it's not that big a deal. And Tyler now has to figure out what kind of damage a magical sarcophagus does, and he decides that it does 2d8 damage, and I roll my attack, and I get a natural 20. So, I roll 4d10, I get 2 10s and 2 8s, so I do 36 damage to the shield, and it shatters it. And I stare at the sarcophagus in my hands, and I'm like, Dash, I know you want to open this, and I want you to open it, but can I keep the sarcophagus? And Dash is like, sure, buddy. So now I have a